Well, welcome along, everybody. Welcome. This is Tuesday night again. So Tuesday is the Business Owners Smashing It Online webinar night. And tonight is no exception. We're only a few weeks away from Christmas now. I think we're in December now. So trees are going up and decorations going up around the streets as well too. So it's almost feeling like that festive spirit, or could it be that time where we sort of think, geez, there's a lot of work coming up as we've got to go and get prepared for Christmas. So I wonder what it's going to be like this year with all the changes that we've had over the year and the pandemic. It's going to be an interesting time. But anyway, let's not worry about that right now. If you've just joined, my name's Nick Cree. I'm your host for tonight. This is the Business Owners Smashing It Online webinar. And our guest tonight is, well, it's actually me. So we had someone lined up, and unfortunately they ended up in hospital. So hopefully she'll be with us next year and feeling a lot better and recovered. So tonight we're going to run it a wee bit differently, and I'll talk about how we're going to do that shortly. But just for now, let's who we've got here. Let's just come and introduce yourself on the topic. A bit to tell you, just in case you have registered before that change of topic, is that we're going to run a bit of a live session on having a look at your websites and what we can do to improve it in terms of conversions, inquiries, and sales. So I was going to run a presentation on the anatomy of the perfect website, but I thought it's probably better if we do that in the form of a live workshop, and let's just have a look at some of the sites. So really it's to so you can walk away with some things that you can improve when you leave here tonight. So anyone that does want their website to look at, just drop it in chat, and can't guarantee I'll get to everybody, but drop your website URL in chat, and we can have a look. All right, so for now, nice shirt. Thanks, Victoria. This is another one of my faves. So who's here? Just come and introduce yourself. And hello, Stacey. Looks like you're traveling home from work. You made it, which is great.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you've been out working, I hear. So you're heading home, are you?
Yes, I'm about to head home, but I'm too scared to drive, just in case police pull me over.
I'll make sure you're yeah, well, I suppose you better not have your video going if you've just got it on a cradle or something like that, and don't look at it.
Yeah.
All right, who else we got here tonight? Tell us who you are, and just give us a bit of a heads up as to what you want to get out of tonight, just to help me, since I've just stepped into the breach tonight, and I probably need a bit of help.
Is it okay?
Yeah, get it.
Hello, who was that?
Sorry,
Anyone
me.
go? Oh, Stacey, yep. Well, what would you like to get out of tonight?
A bit of websites.
Well, I think she's frozen.
Sorry, websites?
Oh, websites, yes. So we'll be looking at websites. Anything in particular about websites?
Not really, just willing to learn.
Excellent. All right. Well, hopefully we'll make that night a night to learn. All right. Excellent. Who else have we got here? And what would you like to get out of tonight? What do you need us to show you?
Can I introduce myself?
Hello, Samita. You surely can.
Yeah. So I'm Samita. I'm actually based in Melbourne, and I run an eco-gifts company called Dida. And I have just launched I have switched from Magento, which was horribly complicated, and I have moved to Shopify. So yeah, if you could please comment on, I've pretty much built it myself with help from a few professionals. So I'd love it if you all can give me some kind of feedback. So yes, it's an e-commerce site.
Awesome. Excellent. All right. Well, we'll have a look at that tonight. So I see you've dropped the link into chat.
Yeah.
So, and I'll ask you a bit closer to the times of what's working, what's not working, and and we'll see what we can do to help improve it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Glad you could come on. Thanks, Samita.
Yep.
All right. Who else have we got here tonight?
Yeah, g'day, Nick. It's Grant Rogers from Nobi here. How are you?
Oh, Grant, how are you going? Glad you could make it.
Yeah, good, mate. I can't promise I'll be here for the whole night, but look, I'm just interested in driving traffic to the website.
Awesome. Excellent. And for those that don't know Grant, I had a good conversation with Grant a couple of days ago, or probably a week ago, and he's running he's got an app that he's created. We're going to get him onto this show next year to talk about his app. It's a screen capture app for instructions and all sorts of things. Really interesting, and he's been bootstrapping it. So really interesting process. So welcome along, Grant.
Cheers.
All right, who else have we got here tonight? Just come and introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like. Hello, Mary.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm actually from Hong Kong and I'm actually outside at the moment. I've got a question or I needed to sort out about my website. I've got my domain name and I've got it hosted, but I have no content yet. I just don't know sort of where to start to build my site.
So, okay, excellent. So content. All right, well, we'll be touching on content tonight because it's an important part of your website. So you haven't got a website up yet, but you're in the process of building it.
Well, it's actually hosted, but it's nothing in there yet. So I don't know what sort of software or anything, how I can go around to putting contents in it.
Excellent. All right. Well, we'll cover off a bit of that tonight, and hopefully give you enough information there to sort of start you on that process.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
All right. Who else have we got here with us tonight? Hello, Annie.
Hi everyone, I'm Annie. I'm an animal communicator and animal medium, so I have conversations with animals living and in spirit. I had my website built earlier this year, but according to the feedback we got in last week's session with you, Nick, I'm not on the right platform or site really for attracting the business. So I do have to go back in and change some of my keywords so people can find me as an animal communicator. But I'd just be interested in feedback about the site, and I definitely want to drive more traffic there.
Awesome. Excellent. All right, we'll have a look at that, and I'm happy to give some feedback there.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else of lucky last, and then we'll get underway. A lot of people with their screens off, so it's they're either naked or they're in sort of places where they don't want to be spotted in the toilet.
They might be eating and not wanting to be seen.
Could be that too, although that doesn't worry Donna by the look of it.
No, I was having my ginger nut Becky's and a cup of tea.
Excellent.
Don't I sound old?
Perfect. And what do you hope to get out of tonight, Donna?
Well, I saw this information again. It was a quick read, but I was thinking about down that SEO path, work out how to improve my website, get more information that will stick in my head, because as you know, we can't remember everything in one session. So I'm just hoping that more and more information will stick so I can change my website when I get to that stage.
Awesome. All right. No, sounds good. Well, there's, I think with these things here, it's, you know, repetitive information is the key. Like you hear things over and over again, then all of a sudden something sticks, and then you hear something that you've heard before, but you didn't realize, you know, what it really meant. So it is an ever evolving process. And I don't know, good news and bad news, a website's never finished. So just when you think it is, technology changes, Google changes its algorithm, Facebook changes. So it is an ever ongoing process of improvement. And the other thing I like to say too is it's not a work of art. So a lot of people spend a lot of time getting the look of it right, but that's the least important part. It's important, but it's not the most important part. So we'll cover off some of those sort of things tonight. All right. Okay, so let me just share my screen, see what we're up to, and okay, so I'm sort of hoping you can see the business owners smashing online in orange. You've seen it all before. The agenda tonight is, I do have some tools tonight, so I will start off with some cool online tools. Some of these are ones that I've been using for this week, in fact, and a couple of them my go-to tools I just keep on going to. So, and hopefully they may be ones that might be helpful for you as well. I'll have time for questions, do have a prize draw, and then we'll announce the next event and close. As ever, if you're on Facebook, let's check into Facebook and look for business owners smashing online, and check in, let people know that you're here. I know that there were some people that registered that didn't come. They might just need your reminder when you check in to say, oh, that's right, business owners smashing it online is on again tonight. And it builds up your digital profile. So whether you're on Facebook or LinkedIn, either of those platforms are good places to check in. All right, let's just dive in and have a look at some of the cool online tools that I've got for us tonight. All right. I'll just share my other screen. Google Chrome, that one there. All right. Now I'm sort of hoping that you can see the screen that says on the top right, email me form. Yep, great, thank you. Perfect. All right, so this one here is, I'm not often looking for form builders, but people are often asking for things like, you know, forms to build surveys or just to capture some details. They don't need a full website. And some of my go-to tools for that are, you know, one of my favorites is Google Forms. Google Forms is great because you can capture information into a spreadsheet in Google. It was reasonably straightforward to use, but sometimes it can be a wee bit fiddly. For surveys and things, you know, things like SurveyMonkey and Jotform are pretty popular as well too, and they're sort of fairly easy to build with sort of drag and drop and that type of thing. But this one here, Email Me Form, is one that I came across the other day, and it captured my attention because it's a wee bit more than a form builder. So you can obviously build some forms and surveys and you know, standard data collection forms with it. But the other thing that it does allow you to do is, one, it allows you to have digital signatures on the form. So if you don't want a full sort of like PDF form where you upload it to say like a form signing platform like say Hello Forms or there's a couple of others out there, you can actually build a form in here and have a field in there for people to sign, and they sign it on their trackpad or with their mouse, or I think you can upload a signature as well too. So so you can use it for contracts. So it can be used for simple contracts. The other thing that was interesting about this one too is it has the ability for payment processing. So with forms, you're not really allowed to collect things like credit card data because they're generally insecure. You need to have a secure way of collecting that information. Now, if you're at say something like I don't know, a trade show or an expo, or you're out somewhere where you're collecting people that you don't necessarily want people to pay on the day, but you need to have their credit card in order to process a payment at a later date. So it could be that I've seen events where people sign up for something and their payment's not going to be accepted until they have an interview, for instance. So they might need to have an interview process to see whether, you know, what they're buying and what's being offered is appropriate. And then at that point there, the credit card gets processed. So, so there's no easy way to capture that information except in an app where you process the credit card. And if they're not right, then you can refund the deposit. Which is an okay sort of solution because you do get a commitment from people. But this is another way where you can capture people's credit card details securely. So they've got PCI compliance, which is the same sort of security that are used by apps that collect credit cards and process transactions. Except this one, you collect the details, you store it securely. You don't actually process it, but you can process it at a later date. So this is an interesting form for those people that do need to capture credit card details securely. And that does integrate with a range of tools. So if you're used to using, say, Google Sheets as Google Forms does to capture data, then this Email Me form will do that as well too. The other thing it's got in it are automations as well too. So see a tab up the top that has got workflows. So forms don't generally have automations. So this one does have automations where you can automate processes. So depending on the answer that someone gives in one of the form fields, you can do things like send them an email, or maybe sort of put them into a bucket there for people that let's say if it's dogs, so we've got let's say it's breed of dogs, and someone's got a Doberman, someone's got a Chihuahua. You can have different buckets to put people depending on the type of dog that that they own. So good if you're doing pet grooming and that type of things. There's could be a use for that. So so it's an interesting form platform. You don't need a website for it, so you can operate this here without a website. And it's a good option to have if that you need to create a form. Now it's reasonably inexpensive as well. I think the pricing options there are there's a free one, but $8 a month, or $8.25 a month. And again, you can it's a come and go as you please with it as well too. So if you need forms, it's another good alternative to some of the other form builders out there with some additional extras to it. So that one there is called emailmeform.com. And
Nick, could I ask a question about that? I don't know if you can answer it or not. It's Jane here. Do you know if it does a repeat payment, like every month it would take customers, like for a subscription?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure this one just allows you to take their credit card details without processing the payment. So you would still process the payment through whatever payment processor you're using.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're looking for a subscription payment, which is your repeating payment, then you would be looking for a payment solution like a Stripe or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now, just to let you know, all of the links, as always, will go into chat. So if you click the chat icon at the bottom, it'll open up chat. The links will go in there. This one's already in there now. And at the bottom of chat are 3 little dots on the bottom right-hand side. If you click that, then you can save the chat. So don't save it now. You can save it towards the end of the session, and you'll have all of the links in there. All right. So that one is emailmeform.com. Next one is a social media scheduling tool, which is called SocialPilot. This one caught my attention. Someone introduced me to this. Oh, geez, that would have been the end of last year, and I've just stumbled across it again. But it gives some of the bigger platforms like Hootsuite, Agora, and Buffer a run for their money. And we're paying so $99 US a month for Buffer, which is one that I've used in the past. We're not currently using it. SocialPilot is $30 a month. So price-wise, it's a very, very competitive option without sacrificing some of the options that are in some of these larger platforms. So it's a more recent tool, and so it's got some interesting sort of automations in it. Allows you to schedule your posting, allows you to manage comments across platforms, so you can pull it all into the one platform, and any comments that you collect, any answers you get automatically get posted back out into the right place on the social media platforms. It means that you don't have to be logging into a number of platforms through the day. You can have it all managed in one place. And then with your content, you can curate content and you can publish it over a schedule. So you can publish a month's worth of content with this, and you can invite your team in to collaborate in there as well too. So again, it is a social media platform that is well worth checking out. Price-wise, it's really good. It's very competitive to get in, and the options that you get are pretty similar as well. And if you have a look at the compare buttons here, it'll run through a comparison to see what you're getting and what you're not getting. So that one there is called socialpilot.co. Right, this one here, this is my go-to tool. I am probably using this one every week on a number of occasions. So it's called Convertio. And pretty much you can convert documents from one format to another. So one of the formats that I convert are on the web. There are a lot of websites now use what's called WebP images. or will they convert? So like JPEG and PNG images to WebP. You can't really download them natively off the net. And I've got this on my site, so I've gone there, go to download it because I think, oh, I'll just download it rather than going to my media library and look for it. Downloads in WebP format. So, and it's not, you can't open that on your computer. And there's also other formats like SVG, which are infinitely scalable images, which don't pixelate. So they're very good quality, but they're very light images. So they don't slow your website down. So they're very good images. So with this Convertio, you can choose a file either with a link. So you can put a URL to the image in here, click submit to convert it. And you can then convert it into a PNG, JPEG, PDF, PSD, pretty much any format that you need to use. So I use it a lot for images. And the reason why I use it for images is sometimes I'm grabbing images for presentations for like evenings like this, and we just need a quick way to be able to convert them. So that's the biggest use. You can also do things like you can convert audio and video. So if you've recorded video or you've got a video in a format that's not compatible with, say, a video editor that you've got, which is sometimes the case on Macs, you can actually convert your video here into a format that's acceptable. Obviously audio as well, a presentation converter. So you can do things like convert a PowerPoint presentation, well, not PowerPoint, a PDF of a presentation into a PowerPoint. So you can do that sort of thing. Or if you've got images that you want to turn into a PowerPoint presentation, rather than going through the process of creating a PowerPoint, you can just load up all of your PDF documents or all of your image files, and it will just create that PowerPoint presentation for you at the click of a button. So it also does optical character recognition. So if you've got a PDF document you want to convert into a Word document, or you just want to convert it into a document you can edit, then it will do that optical character recognition as well too. So it means you can then go and edit something which is previously uneditable. So it'll do PDF to Word, to JPEG, and back the other way as well too. Sometimes you've got, images will come to you as a PDF, often from designers. They'll create an image as a PDF. If they send that to you, that's no good for uploading to your website as an image. So you can convert that PDF to a JPEG, which is then suitable for websites, suitable for social media, all of that sort of thing. So this website is Convertio.co. It is the go-to tool for pretty much converting any document from one format into another. So, and it's free. So they do have a paid version, but I use the free version, and there is plenty of scope in that free version. And they've got a Chrome extension too. So I've just got it on as a Chrome extension. So when I want to use it, I'll just bring it up and drag and drop to it. All right, the next one I have shown us before, but it's worthy of note again because someone else sent me something similar to this recently. This one is called VideoAsk.com. And basically what it is, it's a set of video, could be instructions, it could be a message that you can go and put onto your website. So for this one here, you can see there's a video playing here already.
It's Susie from the VideoAsk team, and I'm talking to you through, guess what, a video ask.
So this video here, so this is just really an onboarding video for this particular platform, VideoAsk. It's playing on the website, and you'll see this interactive as well too. There's a button on it that says see examples.
People are using
and so see examples. So now she's doing some onboarding. There's another video here that it just immediately goes to, and it gives you some options here about, what are you interested in learning about? Well, I'm interested in learning about lead generation. So let's have a look at that there.
Lead generation is a lot more.
And so the video sort of then progresses to lead generation. So it's a very good video for things like walkthroughs, onboarding. Someone visits your website, you can do things like if they've visited through a link that you've sent on email, for instance, or on social media, then you can get this video to pop up only if they use their link. If they don't use the link, it doesn't pop up. So it can be something like, hey, look, welcome here. You've obviously seen the the post we had on Facebook. Here's a bit more of a walkthrough. So it's got some really interesting uses that you can use and really target people. So and if you have a look at the use cases here, obviously recruitment. So if you're in the recruiting game, it was a really good one for explaining to people how to, what the job's about, what the job description is, the skills they're looking for, maybe giving them a task as well too. So being at the moment, we're currently running a VA program for business owners that want to get a virtual assistant. This might be a really good tool to be able to use when vetting candidates as well. So giving them a task to come to the website and giving them some instructions, or giving them a walkthrough of what your business is. Obviously getting testimonials, you can ask people for testimonials with it, lead generation, audience engagement. So it's a really good tool and a very clever use of video. So you would generally create the video, and then you can embed it in your website just with a small script that the platform gives you. So it's very intuitive. It's reasonably sort of simple to use. Maybe with the code, you just need to have a web developer install it, but generally it is a cut and paste thing to be able to put into your website. Or if you're using Google Tag Manager, you can put it into Google Tag Manager and then control where it is displayed on your website. So my name is called VideoAsk.com. And this last one that I've got, because we've got the Christmas season coming up, and how many people have received any handwritten Christmas cards yet? Anyone? No. I remember a time when, you sort of come around about 1st of December, sometimes into November, and Christmas cards are coming through the box. You string up the little strings above the Christmas tree and hang all the cards off it. I think we're lucky if we get 1 or 2 cards, maybe from friends in New Zealand or family in New Zealand. Not my side, my other half side. My family don't send cards to each other. It's now a novelty, whereas it used to be something that was everyone did it. Now it's a bit of a novelty to receive cards. So if you think of a good way to just get in front of your clients or customers over Christmas, send them a card, because it's probably the only card that they're going to get that's handwritten in the letterbox. So it's going to be a bit memorable. Or you might, if you're selling product, you might have a handwritten card that goes out to them as a thank you as well too. Now, the interesting thing about this one here is that, in fact, the cards are not handwritten at all. And they're not using one of those handwritten fonts that you can often tell is a font that someone's used, so it doesn't really look like it's handwritten. This side here, they've got machines that write the cards with a ballpoint pen, so you get the indent and all that in there as well too. And they have got an algorithm there that sort of mixes up the font and the strokes and all that. So it's the closest thing that you can get to handwriting, and you can't really tell that it's not handwritten. It's very, very clever. So,
sorry, Nick, it's Jane again. I actually received a letter in the mail, it would have been maybe a month ago, from a real estate business. And it looked like it was a handwritten letter. And I'm looking at it, and it was exactly that. It is so believable, but I reckon this company has gone and used a service like this for sure. It was really believable that it was to us. And it was like, do you want to sell your house? Because I've got people that are wanting to buy in your area. So it's very good.
So how did you work out that it was not actually handwritten?
Probably because I'm a graphic designer background.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So I've got a lot of print background, and I really studied this paper, like right down to trying to press and see if there was an indent from the handwriting, and there wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And hey, sorry, it's Catherine here. On this one, hello Nick. Sorry for being late too.
That's all right.
With this one, you know how I'm based in New Zealand, and like you guys are in Australia, how would it handle? In other words, this may sound a really weird question, but if we were trying to do it from New Zealand, or in other words, where does it get sent from? I suppose is the question.
That's a good question. I didn't actually check that out.
Well, it doesn't have a .au, so it's probably America.
Could be America.
And so the question why I was asking that is, if you were trying to send it like as a pre-Christmas thing, as you say, great for client contact.
Yeah.
And if it's coming all the way from America with COVID mail problems that we've got at the moment.
Right. Yep.
That was where I was going. It's like, I like the idea, but if you're in New Zealand, if like, as you say, COVID mail is the problem. So it's like, well, would they get it?
I reckon that it would go to a printer in your country, and it would be a scanned, absolutely fine detailed scan, so that they get all the different shades of the ballpoint pen, and it would go to a printer in everyone's country, and they would send it from there. That's what I reckon they'd do.
Okay. No, I love the tool. Yeah.
That would be a clever way to do it, I think, Jane. In fact, that probably would be a suggestion for them. I'm just reading here. It says, the only giveaway is the postmark is from Phoenix, Arizona.
Yes. Right.
So, yep. So I would say that with something like this, if you want it to come from your local country, well, the first thing is, if something comes from Phoenix, Arizona, it's probably going to get opened anyway, because people are thinking, who's sending me mail from overseas? That's the first thing. And to counteract the fact that there is that US stamp, well, maybe it's not a stamp, it's probably just a one of those post office stamps on it. So some people will notice it, some won't. But you can counter it to say, hey, something like, hey, look, even though this card is sent from Phoenix, Arizona, it is from me. I just wanted to say a heartfelt thank you. So, you could cover that so that people knew that actually you ordered it as well too. The other thing that you may be able to do, and I'm not 100% sure, is maybe get a whole lot of these cards printed, sent to you, and then you go and envelope them up and send them out. But you'd need to organise that in advance, and that may not take into account the COVID mail situation. So I'm not too sure whether it's too late to do it now, but it's a great idea.
I'm just aware, like in New Zealand, they've closed off even Christmas mail to anywhere in Europe was last week. In other words, COVID mail is very extreme, I suspect, for this year. And I mean, that's a whole month ahead of time, really. So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So excuse me.
I'm just sort of thinking with that, Catherine, it's probably too late for me to be sending Christmas presents to family now, isn't it? Sorry, Donna.
I think do it at your own peril is what I'm now saying.
Yeah, okay. Excellent. Sorry, Donna.
This is very similar to send out cards. Kirkup actually does that, and it's exactly that. It comes from, I'm sure it's Phoenix, Arizona as well. Takes 3 weeks, so you do your thing in the system. They actually get printed out over there and then posted, but somehow or other it really looks like it's coming from Australia. So like Annie said, it goes to the country, one spot in the country, and then it gets distributed. So it sounds exactly the same as send out
Similar
cards.
sort of thing. Yeah, I'm familiar with send out cards as well too. Actually, just thinking also, Catherine, there is a service in New Zealand. I'm not sure whether it's still around or not, but when I was over there, which is probably, I left about 12 years ago, there was a service over there with handwritten cards, and that was in New Zealand, and they were actually physically handwritten cards as well too. I think they were in Wellington. So, but I can't tell you the name of it now, and I'm not sure whether they still exist.
No, thanks for that. As you say, it's very timely and opportunistic way of getting a reason to contact their clients around this time of year. So I like
Absolutely.
that. The concept's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good for Christmas, but the other thing too is it's probably good for other times of the year as well. There's a car salesperson in the States by the name of, it's on the tip of my tongue, I can't think of it now, but he was a multi-millionaire in commissions on car sales, and he attributed the secret to his success to sending everybody a card. I think he certainly sent them a birthday card every year, handwritten. So he would handwrite it, or had people to handwrite it. And he also used to send them cards on the anniversary of their car purchase as well too. Gerard. Gil, if you look him up, his name's Gil Gerard, G-I-L, and last name G-E-R-A-R-D. Not sure how well that'll go today. That was through the 60s and 70s and you know, that sort of era there. But you know, the fact that people are not getting handwritten mail these days, probably a good time to sort of think about some of these old things again, because they become new and they become a novelty. So whereas the novelty wore off probably during the 80s, now they're novel again.
Yeah. And on that one, Nick, I'm definitely aware from the marketing world, as you say, the traditional old send by mail physical thing has so much more cut through now than the digital. So actually it's perfect for fitting in right on to getting cut through, really. Absolutely, yeah. In fact, the best story I had is a guy I knew who was working with CEOs and corporate, you know, C-suite level, and it's notoriously difficult to get into make an appointment to see a CEO or a CFO or, you know, someone at that C-suite level unless you already had some sort of connection there. And one of the things that got him in the door to get one of the biggest contracts that he got was to courier a door to the CEO with a note pinned on it saying, look, I've tried ringing you. I just want to get my foot in your door. Here's the door. This is partway there. He got the appointment. The CEO thought it was pretty clever. It was memorable, and he got the contract. So, you know, that there is a true case of lumpy mail. All right. So that's the apps that we've got for today. So a couple of comments. Yeah, cards are great for VIP clients. Absolutely. Also good for onboarding. I got a package. Oh, not long ago. Let me just grab it. I got this the other day, so a couple of months ago, and it was a gift box for sending a referral to someone. And in that gift box, it's empty now, was a couple of bottles of wine and chocolates and all that sort of thing there. It was couriered to me. In fact, some of you will know her. It was Chantal Girardi, who is a Facebook specialist. So that was really unexpected. So again, another piece of lumpy mail. And you know, what did that cost? Probably maybe $25 or $30 for something like that there. But you know, if I'm thinking about referring people to her again, will I do it? Absolutely. Not apart from the fact she's really good at what she does. You know, that there is just a really memorable thing. And here I am telling you about her and showing this. And so who knows where you get mentioned by sending off stuff like this. So even though I'm a digital dude and online, some of this offline stuff really works a treat.